Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Misfits and wannabe misfits, all that kind of jazz. It's been a hot day here in South Somerset. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're keeping cool. It said on my little temperature thing up to 33 degrees, which is, oh God, 33 degrees is making me think of Freemasonry. I didn't want to go down that road, but it just did. I just listened to Tim's different tempo of the Free Lucy Today song, which is great. And I like it. My personal favourite's the slower one, but I like them both, But there's something about the slower one for me. I think it's quite towards the end, and it's something about the tune on the word light that Tim does, that you do, Tim. Sorry, that you do, Tim. On that word light. I was going to try and do it then, but I feel a bit shy all of a sudden. And I don't know, it's my very favourite part of the song. And because you extend it out really quite long. But, and they're both great. And I've shared them on the Twitter and stuff like that. And I'm going to go a bit easy on the Twitter. Something came up today. Michelle Warden, also goes by the name Michelle Halligan on Twitter, kind of exposed somebody who's been a real one of the one of the people that are against Lucy, put it that way. And it turns out they're a neonatal nurse, and Michelle knows who they are pretty much, and they've and this person gave money to Stephen Breary's wife when she was doing a fundraising thing. So behind the scenes, there's all these kinds of connections going on. And then at the level of the institutions, whether it's police, CPS, the judiciary, there's all kinds of connections going on that we're not privy to. We might get to know some of them, but we don't know them now. But they're there. They're definitely there. And so what else have I been doing? Watching. I found this guy called I think his name's Jay, but he goes by the name of the Occult Observer, and he's doing an analysis of the film Eyes Wide Shut, the Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman film that was from some time ago, wasn't it? Stanley Kubrick film, his last film. And I've not seen it, but I'm watching the analysis of all these scenes. It's interesting to me. And again, it's about sort of secret things and connections behind what goes under the surfaces of what we see out there. And yeah, it's going on. The film itself, I didn't realise this, it was based on a book by, I can't remember if it's Arnold or Arthur Schnitzler from 1926 called Dream Story, but it's set in Vienna then. So it's kind of based on that in some way. I wouldn't mind reading that. It's meant to be not a very long novel, or kind of maybe it's a novella even, quite a short novel. So yeah, it's been pretty hot today. I briefly came across a situation today which in the past I would have found much more difficult. And I don't want to go into it because I'm trying to keep things in a very, what would it be? It's not about control, it's more like just keep things where they're meant to be. And that's where I'm trying to think in these ways now, that about giving energy away, undermining your own peace, depleting yourself of energy. And it's just, there's so many ways you can do it, aren't there? And sometimes obviously we're not going to get it right all the time. We think afterwards, well, I didn't need to give all that energy to this or that. Whether it's even just in thought, I mean, maybe especially in thought, because that's taking energy as well. Probably in some ways, in terms of how it then has a knock-on effect emotionally and spiritually, even perhaps. These are just thoughts, that the thoughts themselves, kind of creating our reality in some ways, to a degree. I mean, I never want to take it as far as like, there are other agencies out there, individuals and then collectives and they have agency. The idea that we create their actions is something I can't go along with, putting it mildly. But back to the Twitter thing, yeah, I mean, I'm just want to observe more and just see what's going on, any new things. Jabe has done some fantastic analyses of the insulin cases, so-called. What else is happening? Yeah, it's just kind of joining up with the Eyes Wide Shut idea. And I watched the video that I did with the music and the pictures of the people involved, the Cabal video, and it made me connect it to the Eyes Wide Shut film. It doesn't even have to be literally that, but there's an essence there of very dark structures. I say dark, and I don't know, maybe it's not precise. I don't know what I mean by dark. There's a will behind it, so I'm not sure it's so dark. It's not like it's just dark in the sense that you can't see it necessarily, but you see its effects. And you see its effects by virtue of how people act in the world. I'm going to go easy on Twitter and maybe just do it once a week. And I'm resisting what I would have done before. Is I feel a kind of a pull if I see things that I don't like, as it were, even if it's from people in support generally. And I think you're not I don't think I feel differently about it than you're expressing it here in terms of individuals involved, that somehow excuses are being made for them. And I think, no, you're being fooled. That's what I think. But that's just my opinion. Isn't that what the dude says in the big Lebowski? He goes, "That's just your opinion, man. That's just your opinion, man." So yeah, it is my opinion, and that's it. But I just don't want to get pulled back to the energy thing. So yeah, let obviously let them. Everyone's got the right to say what they want to say. But what it means, you don't have to do anything about it. You don't have to react. You don't have to react. And because there's a lot of emotional and psychic vampirism going on in what we might call our society, civilization, power structures. There's a lot of that going on at all levels, in all kinds of ways, from all kinds of directions. I believe this is just my opinion, man. It's just my opinion, man. Yeah. But the dude's a good character. I think I've seen that film. I think I've seen most of it, but I like him. It's Jeff Bridges, isn't he? He's a brilliant actor. He does the memes of him stirring this kind of cocktail. Kind of looks kind of, yeah. I just want to, yeah. But it's not a feeling like wanting to not engage with it. It's about, well, what are they? It's a bit like some of the other stuff I've tried to describe, is that like an individual, like the individual situation I came across today. I know that certain, let me call them entities, want to pull you down. They want to drag you down, at the very least to their level. And my personal feeling about it now is not to let them do that under any circumstances. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Take care. And it's a brilliant song, Tim. Really great. And take care, everyone. Keep cool. I think it's going to get a bit cooler by the end of the week. That's what it said. Anyway, don't know how they know, but you know, it's going to get a bit cooler, which I'm personally glad about. I know some people like the heat, don't they? I don't particularly like it. I like it kind of warm, but not hot. Anyway, or sort of autumn and spring, really, in that order, probably. Although spring's becoming more important now in recent years, but autumn, definitely. Anyway, take care. All the best. Bye-bye. As Tim always says, free Lucy let be, absolutely. And it's coming. It is coming.